My mother, Agnitas Philander, engineering faculty beauty queen, social work degree, and my somewhat of a ladies' man father, painter Wilf Wenzel. Post-war immigrants starting over with more than they ever imagined. Little concrete toadstool still dominating the skyline. Red wine hootenannies with the Irish Rovers. Calgary's best-selling author, a new age charlatan Brit pretending to be Tibetan. For the rest of your life, you will see people as they are and not as they pretend to be. The campus was like a high school. You knew everybody. Another newcomer on the Blackfoot's prairie fringes, smoking in the classroom to news of Pearson's Peace Prize, chicken on the way, corn fritters and fries, mum and dad splitting the gas in his Morris Minor, trying to align ambition with bank statements, parents webbing fingers to propel them over fences, and the foresight of one who knows nothing grows without seed. Dear Mrs. Clarke, this bursary has made the difference between going back to work to university and staying out a year to work. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Future brother-in-law Greg Curtis brings pop culture sensibility to campus. Soon groomed CJSW DJ union man who books the bands at the Hall and Black Lung. A decade kicked off and ushered in by Janice, the Dead, Sylvia, and Ian at McMahon. I end up writing ballads with Tyson the Man 40 years on. He says he was drunk the whole time. The city comes into its own in the form of culinary creations the Caesar and ginger beef. Libyans nationalize and OPEC raises the price of a barrel from 3 to 5 and it jumps again to 11. Calgary's awash with money and hatches its native bird, Cranus constructus. The great Robert Croach maintains, I am a simple poet. I wrote in the dust on the police car hood. Changing signs suggest the pace of the times, the rise of expense and fee, and implying pleas and needs to trickle down more seeds. While Lougheed and Trudeau tussle, generosity flexes muscle. Perhaps the best way in which I can express my thanks would be to pursue those principles which you have so gracefully demonstrated. Sister Monica joins the campus dance in the strange, heady days when university plays were reviewed in the Herald. Up from Oak Ridge in the Little Brown Civic, 20 minutes up or down Croach Isle regardless of the hour. For a prairie oasis trying to find its place in the international pecking order, it was a decade of glory when the luge-loving, pin-collecting masses came calling. When under the glow of Stanley, the Red Mile asserted its reputation for ass-grabbing as celebration. I sat in on Monica's statistical geography class and first practiced a talent I would later command, how to nap with my hand on my forehead and a pencil in my hand. The first bright buds of the technological explosion erupting, cordless phones, microwaves, Pac-Man, MSX Basic, hungry new options, a predilection for competition. It's hard among the mental weeds to find the seeds. Dear Mrs. Clarke, being from a poor country where university-level education was almost inaccessible, I am especially thankful to those like you. Sure, I went too. It was expected. A rung on the ladder of legacy, Sony Walkman on the LRT, parking for free at the stadium, ballet, English, astronomy, waffling like a Gen X poster boy. The skyline defined and defied by evidence of industry domination. The days of Dewar and Sue Higgins. Inspiring me with the power of commercial possibility, songwriter Anne Laurie sings Insensitive at an open jam, and Jan turns it into a house and a sedan. I dance to Oscar Lopez and James Keelahan, live at home, drive my folks Capri, the reality of keeping afloat on $5.75 an hour at a temp agency. And while browsing for titles by number one by one becomes passé, the frustrations of paying to learn and learning to pay rear its banner-inducing whisper to a roar for Klein to do more. And again, quietly flows a pipeline of educational enhancement, altruistic concern for human welfare and advancement. My gratitude and appreciation for my research on three-dimensional computer modeling and real-time control of the human colon for the purpose of functional electrical stimulation. Vanessa Wenzel, offspring of offspring, passing under the University Drive arch into Moliere's Learned Ladies. Oh, how they love to spout the latest news they don't know beans about. Again, the era of the crane, sprawl and train play catch-up, matching up service with souls seeking refuge or accruing enough for new barbecues. G8 leaders come to excitement and scrutiny, tell us the way it is and how it'll always be, shooting straight from one Texas to another. But wait, maybe it's more Copenhagen than Houston. The campus too, a zone of renovation and renewal, sleek and smoke-free, the eternal human snake that is the lineup for Tim Hortons coffee, the eternal painted rock, clocking attitude and whim, drinking in the uncertainty of the early spring. We grow up. Near bubble, a crash, a return, a crash. Where did the money go? Dear Mrs. Clarke, your support made a difference in my long-term plans. It encourages me to work fully devoted in order to promote life on Earth and bring peace to this planet. I believe in imagination and bringing it into reality. And now here, 50 years on, recipient 1, eyes high and wide. I would like to express my sincere gratitude as a student fortunate enough to have received the Robert Paw Memorial Bursary in Engineering. At present, I am finding second-year engineering both interesting and challenging, but without some form of financial assistance, I am afraid that I could not continue. I hope to be a chemical engineer, and you have brought me closer to my goal. Since I never was very good at expressing myself, in closing I will say that no matter what words I could use in expressing my gratitude, they would be insufficient. Yours sincerely, Gwyn Morgan.